Classy, back at it again with another episode of the TT Show. I know it's been so long. I know I'll be taking these hiatuses, and you guys are like, what in the world? I don't think I dropped an episode since August. But honestly, I had to get me together every couple of months. Within these past 2 years, I go through something. And instead of pushing through, well, I always push through because that's just who I am. But instead of continuing on with the podcast every week, I take a break and figure out my personal, figure out my business. And there was a lot of things going on. But despite all of that, the TT Show had another event, Black Girls Uncovered. That event was amazing. It was a pajama Christmas party. Where I had me, myself, and two other speakers just give our journey and talk, and we gave back to the kids of the Arkansas Children's Hospital. It was a lot of different women there. So happy that event turned out great. I'm so appreciative to everybody that came. Shout out to our speakers, Shantae Booker and Gabrielle Jenkins. You guys did awesome. Thank you guys so much for having the courage and strength to tell your stories and really get out and speak. You guys really did me such a big favor, and I couldn't ask for anything more. The event was great. Shout out to my mentor, Shanila Robertson. Shout out to my event planner, Miss Auntie Joyce Jackson. That's my girl. She turned that room around, y'all. It was in a La Quinta Hotel downtown. Getting that together was so stressful, but as I was getting it together, y'all, I really found out that this is what I want to do. Giving to people, trying to do these events, motivational events, empowerment events, and really want to see an outcome at the end, and you want to see each woman grow. I feel like God really did his thing when he put that Black Girls Uncovered in my head. So it's like put a battery in my back. But let's start from the beginning. So I took a little hiatus. A lot of things in my personal has been, extra hard. But being that this podcast is dedicated to giving you a Black woman's journey, I had to give you my journey, even the hard parts, even the embarrassing parts. So recently, I've dealt with something, and it's pretty hard, especially me knowing that I am a fighter, or not even that I'm a hustler. Okay, so I always am 10 steps ahead. I know where my money's coming from. My bills are going to be paid. I never have a problem because I need to know everything. A week before Christmas, a week before Thanksgiving, I've been dealing with my job, my full-time job. For some of you guys that didn't know, at the start of the year, I had a full-time job, and then I eventually got a part-time job. I was working 2 jobs and running the podcast. So that's another reason why I didn't have enough time, because I was trying to do too much. I was just so caught up of not being broke. So I was overworking myself, exhausted, y'all, exhausted. From March to August, probably September. Yeah, September. I remember having an exact date. From March to September were some very difficult times in my life, as far as exhaustion and overworking myself. I had started school. I'm back in grad school. I'm getting my graduate degree in project management, or my MBA, and then I'm gonna get an emphasis in project management. So I have 2 jobs: the business, school. So one, excuse me, y'all know it's allergy season, but so for one, I'm working these jobs. I'm not even putting my all into the podcast. I'm not doing my due diligence into figuring out who do I want to get on this, get on the next episode, what content I need to drop. I wasn't, I wasn't all in, because I had these 2 other jobs. I was dog tired, and then I started school. And if you know me, I don't play about school. I hate school, but I'm gonna get it done. I ended with a B this semester, though. I only had 1 class, so shout out to me. But yeah, so I was going through with my job. I had moved to another department. I had moved to salary. It was a lot of stuff going on. I remember telling my dad how stressed I am. like these people, like I really felt like these people were discriminating against me. I don't know if it was because of my age, because of the title that I held. I don't know if it was because I always gave pushback. I need proof that I need to do this. I don't know what it was, but my manager's manager didn't like that. And they say, hey, we're firing you. We decided to cut ties. And I said, for what? They couldn't give me a reason. So with that, I'll have to handle totally separate, because you're not going to fire me for no apparent reason, and I'll work my ass off. And it's getting me upset now because I really did work my ass off. Y'all know I told them I was pregnant. Let me tell y'all why I told them I was pregnant. Because one day I was sick, and I ain't even gonna say that because I don't know if they're listening, but one day I was sick, and I was throwing up on the phone. I was really just drinking that night, and I can't handle liquor no more. So I was throwing up on the phone, but I didn't mean to answer. But I'm sick, halfway drunk, so I'm like, oh, throwing up. I still made it to work that day, but I was like an hour late. So when I had talked to my boss, I was like, I'm sorry. I think I'm pregnant. I don't know how that came out, but I just said I think I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, congratulations, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, eh. And a week later, you fired me. Why you fire a pregnant woman? You over here asking me all this stuff. I gotta lie some more. And you gonna fire a pregnant woman? These jobs really don't care about y'all. Be careful, because they... Be careful. I'm glad I wasn't really pregnant, because first of all, y'all like fired me a week before Thanksgiving. 4 weeks before Christmas. Like what? But it's okay. I've never been fired before. I think I got fired from Chick-fil-A when I was like 18, but that was because it was my fault. But that's another story. But yeah, it hurt my feelings, because I really was working really hard, and it was for no reason. Didn't do my job, and I was just sitting there working on company time. Like, I can see if I was, not really working, but I really did my job, and anybody could tell you that. On vacations, I'm not taking vacations. I'm bringing my laptop. I'm working. Any type of thing, I was always working. But, that brings me to tell you this, like, jobs don't care about you. So go for what you want to go after. And mind you, I knew this before, but for it to actually happen to me is a little, if you ain't never been in that situation, you put in that situation. If you knew better, you do better. So now I know better. And honestly, with that, I honestly feel like God was removing everything from my life. Everything that I depended on besides him, in order for me to really depend on him. If that makes sense, let me break it down. Let me bring it back. So, first job, Starbucks. Or first job, we go edit that out. First job, the part-time job. That job, I told them that I had a full-time job. My full-time job was having me do crazy meetings that they never had me do. They changed my schedule. It was like a lot of different things. Like my schedules for both jobs was conflicting. And I told them, like, hey, I have a full-time job, so I only want to work like 20 hours a week, 15 hours a week. And, but when I first got the job, I said I could close. But I quickly realized that I can't close. And then it was just too much. It was like a lot. That job was a lot to have on top of your full-time job. And I was getting like 30 hours a week, 25 to 30 hours a week instead of 15 to 20. So it was a lot. And I quit. Like, I just felt like they didn't give a fuck about me and my schedule. And they probably didn't. They probably didn't. So I just quit. I think I'm gonna go back though. Now that I don't have a job. But I quit. And I really didn't want to, but it was just like, you know what? You got a full-time job, girl. Forget that. You don't need it. And okay. So I did that. And then I was still going through it like mentally. Like, just a lot of stuff was coming up in my head. Traumatic stuff that I thought that I didn't forget about. I didn't forget about it, but I buried it deep into my in my brain. I started going back to therapy, and obviously that brought it out. And so I was dealing with like that stuff from childhood, and not really even childhood, just young adult, like 18 to now. So it's a lot of stuff that I learned with that. So that was like an emotional roller coaster, because I'm just like, what the hell? Like, it was just, it was just a lot of a lot of stuff that I had to deal with. And then God was like, you're not, I don't know, something was just like, I was supposed to go to school. I was supposed to start graduate school 2018 when I graduated from undergrad. I did, but I was so tired of school, y'all. Me and my ex that was the first time we had first broke up, and it was just hard. I was poor. I had like my first job after college, and I only made like $12. I was like, fuck school. Like, I didn't, I wasn't trying to work. I mean, I wasn't trying to go to school. And even last year, I said I was going to go back to school and get my graduate degree when I went to the Grind for God Women's Retreat. But I never did it. I was just so, like, literally, I promise you, I was so caught up on money. God was telling me to go back to school. So I just applied. Like, I just randomly applied after talking to my therapist. And got in, started school. When I applied, I started school probably like 4 days later. Like, I wasn't playing no game. I think I got fired a month. That was September. I started school September. I got fired a month later, 2 months later, month and a half later, whatever. So I remember calling my mentor, like, this is the worst thing ever. Like, I can't do this. And I really felt like that. She was like, is it really the worst thing ever? Like, do you think that you can't, like, do what you have to do? You got a whole business. You can focus on the TT show and really focus on, encouraging and helping other women. You have the event coming up. You're in school. That frees up your time. And I heard it. I guarantee you I heard it, but it still was like, yeah, you're right. But, I still felt some type of way. So here it is, going on the 6th week. I did different things. Like, I signed up for different programs. I started door dashing. So that's cool. I will recommend door dashing to somebody. Like, I will recommend door dashing just because I can make the same amount a day that I made in my full-time job a day. If I really apply myself and do it 5 days a week, I can make more money than what I was doing when I was working a full-time job. So weigh those options out. And, I'm in Arkansas. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. I can only imagine if I was in California. But I also decided that it was a few things, like, at this point, since God is telling me to solely rely on him, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to do what I feel like I'm supposed to do. I don't have any ties to me. I don't have any children. I don't have any man. Like, I don't have any man. I don't have any men. I don't have nothing. As far as holding me down. So I came up with a plan. 2022 is literally a year of self-care and being selfish. I told Jamarie this. I told April this, but hashtag be selfish 2022. Like, that is what I'm going to do. Everything that I want to do, travel. And honestly, like, dealing with this stuff and, really coming to the conclusion that you can, like my faith has literally turned around. You can do everything as long as you rely on the Lord and you put in that work and just do what you're supposed to do. Okay, but anyway, so let me tell y'all a little thing that I've been thinking about. So not only have I seriously been walking by faith and really just slowly relying on God. I was driving one day, and if you know me, I drive super fast. Like, I'll be ready to go. Like, I be going. And I remember my dad used to always be like, slow down. Like, even when it wasn't even with the driving when I was a kid, it was just like, you moving too fast. Like, slow down. And when I was driving, I think I was door dashing. I was cruising. I didn't have, I wasn't really tripping. I was cruising, and I think, I don't know, just something just clicked in my head. Like, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. Look at God. You're going to get there. Slow down. Take your time. Do what, don't move too fast. Because when you trying to race and beat that clock, you're not going to get what's for you. And when you get what's for you, if you do think you got what's for you, you're not going to be ready for it because you move too fast. You rush for it. Sit back, take time, think your things through, and cruise. And I use that now with everything. I'm really thinking. I was always a critical thinker. But now I feel like it's intensified because now I'm really thinking before everything that I'm doing. I'm really cruising. I'm really cruising through these streets of life instead of racing to get to a point because I think because I'm 26 I should be here, or because I see my peers that are over a certain age and they're with family, they have their families, they have businesses, or they're in the career field, and I'm comparing myself to them, and not subconsciously that I'm doing that, and it's making me feel bad. When all I have to do is relax, stay in my lane, and cruise. That's it. And when I came to that conclusion, and this is like last week. When I came to that conclusion, I was just like, that's it. I'm asking God to show me a way. I'm asking God to show me like a light, I guess, or just my path. And that just popped off in my head. So that was beautiful. I will just always say, y'all just cruise. Stay in your lane and cruise. I think that's going to be the name of the episode. Stay in your lane and cruise. Because what's for you going to always be for you. What's there for you is always going to be there for you. You just have to put in that work, trust in God, and do it. And it's so much easier said than done. It's so much easier said than done. But like Nike said, just do it. So moving on, before I end this, I didn't expect it to be 21 minutes long or, this long, but just some things to take back before the end of the year is over. And we start this new beautiful one. We don't know what we're going to see, but we're going to cruise, right? We're going to stay in our lane and just cruise. Don't be so hard on yourself, especially if you're a Capricorn like me. I'm starting to journal. 15 minutes at night, 15 minutes in the morning. There's a self-care journal. I just bought my best friend, my sister, that I also purchased for myself. It's a year to self-care, and it gives you different writing problems. And I honestly think that is one of my journals that's gonna stick out this year. I have 4 that I bought for the new year, but I really feel like that is gonna be the one that helps me. I've noticed that me keeping a calendar for the last month of 2021 and for next year, and putting everything on it, even stuff that you didn't think that would matter, my subscription dates, my interview dates, anything, birthdays, I put everything on my calendar. I never was a calendar type of girl, so I'm trying to get used to it, so I just put everything on there, and it's helping me stay organized, and it's just helping me get my mind right. I just feel like when I write something down, it's solidified. It's gonna happen. Other than the calendar, also I have been trying to just find a hobby, not a hustle, a hobby, something that I can literally do for fun, and it's not even I don't want to get paid for it. I just want to find something that works for me, like something that gives me peace, other than just laying on this couch and being depressed or feeling like, life is overwhelming. Because even though I say these uplifting things like, just cruise and everything will be all right, whatever the motivational stuff that people say, you still get in those feelings. I always have it, literally every other day. I have to talk myself out of it. So I think that finding a hobby that I can do to really relax my mind, maybe painting, and I suck at painting, but I really like to paint. I think that'll be something good for me. And doing these podcasts, I have a whole schedule, guys. It's no letting up. We three episodes a month, starting in January. The second week of January, we're 3 episodes a month. We have a whole schedule out. Don't worry. The podcast is definitely going to be consistent. And I think that's one of the things that's going to help me. So find something that you can be consistent in and you enjoy. That's not going to be my hobby because obviously, I take this really serious. I really take this really serious. So I don't want this to be a hobby. I want this to be something more than that. I'm just continuously working on me, continuously digging deep down and figuring out who I am as a person, what I like as a person. I said that I'm not going to date the year of 2022. That's such a long ass year. But I'm not going to date. I'm not going to like not go on dates, not having sex, not dealing with, like, I just want to solely figure out who I am. Like, I always say this, and I always feel like God shows me a little bit, but then I start dating and I start worrying about other stuff. And I'm not worried about that. I think at this point in my life that I just want to focus on me, be selfish, #be selfish. So yeah, y'all, that's my little update. We coming in hot with all of the new episodes, starting the second week of January. I'll be going on a much needed vacation, January 3rd through the 6th, to Jamaica for Antoinette's birthday, but I'm gonna put my birthday in there too since I ain't got no job no more. So I think I'm gonna take that time to really work on content and just relax and really take it in, because this month, or the 6 weeks that I've been off, the first couple weeks I was so worried about getting a new job or stressing out that I really didn't decompress my mind probably until Christmas Day. Spent Christmas alone, and it was the best time. So I really want to take the time out to really sit in my feelings, whether I have to cry, get angry, be happy, but I really want to sit in my feelings and express those and get over it, because honestly, I know what's the next move. I just have to get over it emotionally. So that's my plan. And I want to know you guys' plan for 2022. Don't forget to clean up those houses, make those black eyed peas. You walk in the house, you walk through that front door with $20 in your pocket. You don't need no man. And y'all tell me what y'all have planned. See y'all in a couple of weeks. That's it for 2021. The TT Show loves you. TT Classy loves you. I love y'all so much. Shout out to y'all, my nieces and nephews. Bye.